Did you just start your business and you're thinking about marketing your services on Instagram? Then this video is for you. I want you to ensure that Instagram is really the platform that you should focus on because sometimes we don't really think about who we're serving. We just go straight to Instagram because everybody's doing it. But depending on your ideal client, your client avatar, maybe LinkedIn is better or maybe TikTok is better than Instagram. So first, what you need to do is to ensure that you define your ideal client and your product, your offer. And to do that, I have a few videos that you can check out. I will add the link here so that you can check out those videos. It's really important that you understand who your client ideal is and you draft a clear profile of who they are, what they do, where they hang out, both on online and offline, and that you understand if Instagram is where you're going to be able to talk to them, because you want to ensure that whatever you're doing, whatever content you're posting on Instagram, it reaches your ideal client and not someone who's never going to buy your services. In this video, I want to give you some really good tips that helped me get from 0 when I started my business to 3K every month, consistent 3K month, using a simple Instagram strategy. So as I said, first make sure that Instagram is the right platform to reach your ideal client and talk about your offer. And then watch this video because I'm going to give you a lot of tips that will help you make your first thousands every month. But before we get into it, a little bit of a recap of who I am. I'm Chris. I'm an interior designer. I graduated in London and then I worked for a few studios doing residential and commercial design. It was very exciting. I worked on lots of restaurants. One included is at Heathrow Airport in London. So it was a very exciting time, but somehow I wasn't fulfilled. I was doing a lot of hours. I felt like there was something more out there. I kind of did a crazy thing and decided to move to Brazil. I wanted the sun, I wanted the beach, and I started freelancing. And this worked out for a while until I realized that I was only paid for the hours that I was working. And for me, Chris, who loves to travel and go on adventures, it just wouldn't work out. I knew I would never be able to grow and make more money because I was only paid for the time that I was putting in. And that's when I decided that I was going to start an online business that would give me the flexibility to travel more. And it was really tough. It was tough because I knew how to be a designer. I didn't know how to be a business owner. So after years of trial and errors, I'm now trying to help designers who are starting their own business or who are still freelancing or even studying. I want to give you all the tips that I didn't have when I got started. I want to show you where I failed, where I had some success, what worked, what didn't, so that you can do things a little bit faster than me. And a big disclaimer in this video, I want you to know that you don't need to have 100K followers on Instagram to be making money. I had under 500 followers. Most of them were my friends when I got started, and I was still able to reach 3K per month. Now I have just a little bit over 2,000 followers, and we reach 20K a month on a consistent basis. Followers doesn't mean anything. What matters is that the followers that you have are potential clients, people who can convert into paying clients. If you have 100K followers, but they're friends, they're people you're following for them to follow you, then it doesn't matter. They're just not going to buy your services. So in my first year in business, I did very bad. I actually didn't make any money. I have the numbers here. I made $9,000 and most of it was from my dad's cousin who was building a house and he needed my help. So most of it was from that one client. Then in year 2, we reached $72,000. In year 3, $96,000. And in year 4, $135,000. The reason why, we're growing steadily, but we're not growing mega fast is because for me, my goal has always been to work less and make more. So the idea is that I want to be delegating more every year and not have to do everything in my business. So in year 1, I had less than 500 followers. In year 2, I probably had around 1K followers. In year 3, I probably had 1,500. And year 4, I was just a little bit under 2,000 followers. My goal, as I said, is not to have a big following, although it's nice. I want to have people that will convert, that need what I'm offering, because then I'm speaking to my ideal client. I'm not speaking to a lot of people who don't need what I have to offer. So first thing, we're going to make sure that Instagram is the right platform for you. Then based on your ideal client and the product, then some of the tips that I have, aside from the fact that you shouldn't look at the followers that you have, is that you have to start small. Don't try to post 5-6 times per week. I've tried that. You will not be consistent with it because it's just going to be too much. It's something new you're doing. It's something you're not used to, and it's going to feel overwhelming very fast. You're going to be excited for the first month, and then you're going to start slowing down and maybe doing only 3 posts per week and then give up completely. A lot of people have the same issue. So just start small. It's better that you plan 3 posts every week that are very specific. Like you think about what people need to hear from you, what you can showcase. You spend a little bit of more time planning, but then you are consistent on a long period of time. So if you can sustain those 3 posts over and over again, that's when you're going to have the results. So in my first year, I had very little response. I thought I was just posting and nobody was seeing anything. And even now, my reach, the comments I have on Instagram, the likes, they're not really high, but it doesn't matter if then it converts into paying work for you. So just focus on being consistent and starting small. And then if you see that, okay, 2 posts per week is fine, I can go to 3 posts per week. As long as you're consistent, you're going to do fine. And this, of course, works with the not giving up part. Don't give up because you're not seeing results. If you're consistent, the results will come. Just trust the process. The other thing that I want to tell you is don't be too hard on yourself. I know that you will feel shame having to post on reels, on stories. Oh my God, my family is watching, my friends are watching. What are they going to think of me? Well, just think about this. You're starting a business. Most people will never start a business. You're working towards achieving your goals, your dreams. So just be kind and don't be too hard on yourself if it feels like you're not doing things the way that you're supposed to be doing them. It's a given. You're going to suck at Instagram when you start, but after 6 months, after a year, 2 years, you're going to get so much better. Like when I started a YouTube channel, the quality was horrible. I was posting videos in the wrong format. The quality was horrible. So don't be too hard on yourself. Just get started and see where it leads to. And my last tip on this part before we get started is that you should be checking in regularly. And by that, I mean that you should regularly check how your posts and your reels and your stories are doing and try to understand what people like about your content and what maybe doesn't work so well. Because if you have a good understanding about what your ideal client is interested in, then you can reproduce and do more content on the same topic. Okay, so at this point, you've defined your ideal client, you're clear about your offer. That's great. That was the most difficult part. What I like to do then is create a huge brain dump about every possible piece of content that you can think about creating for this specific ideal client, this client avatar. You need to keep your ideal client in mind every time you create content. You need to think about their pains, the problems, the struggles they're having right now in their business or in their lives. You need to think about some kind of result or transformation that they are looking for as a result of hiring someone like you. What kind of transformation are they looking for? Then also think about projects that you can showcase or testimonials from past clients. If you don't have a lot of work that you've done by yourself, what you could do is create 3D renders, 3D images, or have someone create them for you so that you can showcase them on your Instagram and on your website if you have one. The testimonials are important because they are what we call social proof. When you see other people liking what you are researching, so for instance, if you go to check out a hat on Amazon, you will check what the reviews are for that hat. If people do not like the product, you're most likely not going to purchase it. However, if you see that other people were happy with the same product, you're more likely to purchase it. So it's the same thing for your services. If you can showcase some testimonials from your past clients, it's going to help potential clients see the value in your services. You may want to think about posting some personal stories to connect with your audience. Actually, this one, most people will not think about, and it's one of the most important points because when you have multiple designers with the same types of skills and same budget, So they price their services almost the same. What is going to differentiate whether someone works with you or another designer is based on personality. Can they relate to you? Do they feel like they will get along with you? You have to remember that an interior designer is going to work in someone's home for months or years, depending on what kind of project it is. So people want to know that they're going to be able to talk to you, that they're going to enjoy your company. And so share who you are, what you like. I'm not telling you to post everything about your personal life on your professional Instagram, but just let your personality come through so that they can connect to you on a deeper level. For example, I've had designers connect with me on traveling. So they like that I traveled so much. They went to France, which is my country. So they really enjoy talking to me about traveling. So when you can connect with people, you are creating a bond. You're connecting with them. You're making them trust you more. And you could also share things that you like, that you've read, a podcast that you've listened that you think they might enjoy, and even tutorials and tips, because this is positioning you as an authority in your field. So showing that you know what you're talking about and that when they come on your page, they're getting useful tips. This is really helpful. So those are kind of the topics that you can think about when you create your brain dump of the content. For now, like, don't even organize it, just drop a lot of ideas, everything you can think about, because then we're gonna start organizing everything. Step 2, we're gonna be defining the pillars. So the Instagram content pillars, what are those? Basically, you're gonna choose maybe 3 or 4 pillars, which are kind of topics that you're gonna choose to define, to organize all your content. So based on what you learned about your ideal client, we're going to decide that we're going to have 4 pillars. And those 4 pillars, those are only a suggestion. You can have different ones, obviously, but those are the ones that I chose when I first started. Number 1, pain points and struggles. This one is important because if they can relate to the posts about the struggles, because they are feeling what you're talking about, they're going to want to know how you can solve their problem, their pain points. It's also going to make them feel as if you understand them. And when you understand them, you create a relationship of trust. They're going to want to know how you can help them. And this is how from cold leads, they will become warm leads, someone who is already interested in your services. Number 2, you also want to talk about the results and the transformation. That's another way, like instead of talking about the pain, you talk about the transformation, because they're going to see, oh my God, like this is the transformation that I want. How can I get that? And you're going to show them exactly how they can get that result working with you. Number 3, you can focus on how you're the solution and you promote your services. You showcase the projects, you show testimonials, you provide a lot of value. You show them that you are the solution to the problems that they're having in their lives right now. And number 4, inspire and connect. Connect with your audience, share useful things that you think they will enjoy, share more about yourself, about your business, about what you do, and think about how you can connect with them on a more personal level. Step number 3, we're going to be planning the content. So now you have your 4 pillars, you know exactly what you're going to be talking about, and you can start organizing all your content under these 4 columns. You've already decided how many times you're going to be posting per week. So decide that right now. Is it going to be 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times? Start small, as I said. And then you're going to create, you're going to start thinking about your days. So you're going to put the days that you want to post, and you're going to think about what type of post you want to do on each day. For instance, you could decide that on Monday you're going to post a quote. So that's the inspiring pillar. You want to inspire them, so you're going to post something that is going to inspire them on Monday. It seems like a good day to inspire people, you know, ahead of the week. Then on Tuesday, you could do something like a project feature. So you build authority and you show results. So you're going to be showing a testimonial, which means you're showing the results that people had by working with you. Then on Thursday, you could decide that it's going to be a day where you're going to be educating people. So you're going to give them free value tips about something that they may be struggling with right now. And this is also a way to build authority. So based on how many days you're going to be posting, you can create more categories, you know, because we have, you know, you could post something fun, something that you like, something that you read. You could do a post to connect more with your audience. So depending on how many times you're going to be posting, you can just rotate every week or every day of the week. You have a different type of post. That really depends on what you're going to be deciding. Step number 4, we're going to be writing down our ideas. So you have your brain dump, you have your pillars, you know how many times you're going to be posting every week, and you know the type of post you want to be posting on a specific day of the week. So Now, what I think is going to save you a lot of time is if you take 2 hours of your time every month, so it could be at the beginning of the month or at the end of the previous month, you sit down and you're going to plan your content. I always feel like when I focus on 1 to 2 main topics every month, it's a little bit easier, but you could also decide that you're going to be sharing a little bit about everything because you don't have that much content yet. But as long as you're clear every month about the content that you want to be posting, it's going to be really helpful. And you want to decide the content for the entire month. So you don't have to prepare it right now. It's just about writing down all the ideas for carousels or posts, reels and stories. What do you want to talk about each day of the week? So if you're going to be posting 3 times per week, you just want to be thinking about 3 pieces of content every week, and you're going to be writing basically 12 pieces of content for that month. You're going to decide what is going to be a carousel, what is going to be a reel. I think having a mix of both, you alternate between carousel and a reel is really nice, depending on the type of content that you want to share. And then also decide on stories. Stories, you should almost be showing up every single day. A lot of people don't look at the grid, but they look at stories. So you want to show up, even if it's just to say, hello, I posted this on the feed today. What do you think about it? This is why I did it. And this is why I think it will be beneficial for you to have a read through the caption. So just show up. You can also share other people's posts. You don't have to always be sharing your post. You can also share stuff that you are seeing on Instagram that you think your ideal client is going to benefit from. Stories is a little bit more informal. It's about connecting with your audience. So just be a little bit more free on stories. This is the Instagram strategy that helped me get from 0 to 3K consistently every month with under 1,000 followers. I have a free workbook that you can download. It's helpful to have that because you can just write directly on it. You can watch the video and fill out the workbook at the same time. It has more tips in there. So if you want to download it, I'm going to add the link down below. And yeah, just get started. The most difficult part is getting started. And then as you get practice, it's going to become easier and easier. Even just showing up on stories is going to feel really hard when you get started. It's going to feel easy after a few weeks. So just be consistent, start small, and download the workbook. I'm sure it's going to help you. And if you have comments or questions, drop them down below. I'll see you in the next video.